Welcome. Woo, woo.
All right.
Welcome to our new channel, Partners in Prosperity with Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
Onyx.
And he's Onyx.
Woo! Welcome, everyone. This is an amazing opportunity we have here. We're going to talk about mindset, money, and relationships.
And all of that.
So we are so glad that you are here. Come on in, grab your cup of coffee or tea or wine, whatever you pleasure, whatever's your pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today we're going to talk about some strategies to use and how to thrive during a recession.
When everything is slowing down, but you're not.
That's right.
There you go.
Because there are many people that prosper a lot during a recession.
It's the smart people.
Yes. And it's also people that do certain things during a recession, right?
To do them smartly.
Yes, smartly. Yes, smartly.
Yes, smartly. Yes.
So one of the things is you got to stay calm. If you watch the news, you can go through a up and a down and a up and a down. 1 minute Trump's putting on the tariffs, then he's pausing the tariffs, and then he's going to put them back on. And the stock market is like, oh my gosh. I mean, if you look at your investments, they're going up and they're going down. I mean, huge swings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't you swing.
No.
Well, no, don't swing. That's a different subject. We'll discuss that next time.
And we'll be talking about that at another time.
I was going to say, unless you are different subject.
Okay. We want to stay calm.
Yes, you got to stay calm.
Yes. Staying calm is the foundation for making sound, calculated decisions, even in the midst of chaos.
Yes.
In all seriousness, we kind of survived the turmoil in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. And we look back on it now and we go, wow, I mean, it was such a distance. Like we have progressed so much.
In the 80s?
Yeah. There was a recession in the 80s.
Oh, that one. Okay, got it. Keep going.
Or 2008. 2008.
I was like, in the 80s, what happened there? I was in high school. What happened there? I was like,
well, I don't know nothing about a recession.
I know about it. There was a recession in 91. I do know.
Yes. And there was also a recession in 2008. My bad. I reversed the numbers.
Housing market?
Yes. Housing market crash. Tent cities. People were living in tents. It was terrible.
Yes. We survived that.
Yes.
And believe it or not, there's a lot of people that made a
lot of money
during that time.
They bought a lot of property. They came up.
Yeah. When the market does its roller coaster, because it does, it's a natural.
It's cyclical.
Yes. It does it in the frequency. And if you pay attention enough, you can see when it's coming again.
Yes.
And when the recession comes, it's just a way of doing things differently.
Right. Position yourself. We're positioning ourselves to have some cash on hand so that when it's time, we can either do investments or purchase property, whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you want to position yourself.
The first step, of course, is to stay calm.
Yeah.
If you are calm, your emotions are here. That allows you to see the dynamics of the market as it changes, and you don't panic, but you know that you're just shifting gears and doing things differently.
Yeah. I have some friends that jobs look very insecure, really. Mm-hmm. They were insecure with their job. They didn't know whether they were going to have a job. They didn't know if their job was going to lay off. A lot of companies are kind of making decisions about whether they're going to shrink their workforce, whether they're going to close one entity of their business. Government, they're looking at, if we lose some of this federal money, what will we do? So these companies are staying calm, but they are making decisions. And then those that are impacted by those decisions are freaking out and panicking because they don't know if this company is going to go left or right. And we're here to tell you it's time for you to start making some calculated decisions. While they're making their decisions, you should be making your decisions. And sometimes it's kind of funny. People are panicking over jobs that they say don't even like anyway. And I'm like, you know what? This is the universe giving you an opportunity to shift.
Yes. And sometimes we as human beings need to be nudged a little bit. Some of us need to be nudged. Some of us need to be kicked.
Right.
Some of us need to be pushed off a ledge. But
yes.
we need to move. And when changes happen, it does require you to shift left, shift right, or just totally turn around and do something different.
Yeah. And so when you're in this calm state, right, it allows you to focus on what are your options. You have options. We're here to tell you you have options. Even when it looks like you don't have any options, we're here to tell you that you do have options. Hey, buddy, hopping in the
What's up,
buddy? Woo, woo. Welcome to the live. Thank you for being here. So here's another quote for you guys. In a crisis, calmness is your greatest asset. It allows you to see clearly and act decisively.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we were having a discussion about this topic, it resonated as far as what the military does. Being calm. That's why a lot of leaders, some of the best leaders, are the calm ones.
Yes.
You don't have to hoop and holler and scream and yell. The more calm you are, the more decisive you can be and think clearly. And it allows you to execute a lot more efficiently.
And you know what? We say staying calm, and there's a lot that has to go into that, right? Yes. Number one, it means you may need to turn social media off.
Oh, yes, you do.
Because social media, if you really pay attention, it's a trigger for emotion. It's just a trigger. Like they will show you one story after the other about how people are being impacted by this economic crisis, right? This is happening. That's happening. But we went to the mall the other day and I was like, well, I don't know about a recession because everybody in here don't know nothing about a recession.
Spending money left and right.
Yes. Hey, Barbie. Hi, Barbie's
What's
in
up?
the house. Yes. The mall was packed with people. So just know and understand the whole world is not in a panic, and you don't have to be either.
No.
You don't have to be succumb to these news stories that plague your phone. They plague your phone, right? Every yes. Social media, take a break. Because it will get you all tense and anxious.
It is designed to trigger emotions. That's how it captivates people and keep an audience going. I can be watching one thing and something that's making me laugh, and then all of a sudden I see the opposite. Like, what the hell?
Somebody getting arrested,
right? Like, why? How did it? No, and then your blood go all up high and all. No.
And you were just laughing, having a good time
a second ago. Now I'm pissed off. So it's like, don't toy with my emotions. That's when I go click and turn it off.
And staying calm, especially when it comes to finances, and you need to have some discussions with your spouse or significant other.
Yeah,
boy, when you are able to stay calm, number one, you form a trust, right? It fosters trust between each other, right?
It does, yeah.
It fosters effective communication. We can talk because we're calm. You know, even though the topic is critical, like I just lost my job and we may not be able to pay the mortgage. But I always say when I'm talking to friends and family and they're faced with a crisis, I always say you have a choice. So you can A, choose to react by screaming and hollering and panicking and freaking out, or B, you can choose to remain calm and think logically and come up with a solution. It is not the end of the world. I promise you, if you do some effective communication, if you're patient and you come up with some thoughtful solutions,
right,
then a year from now, you're going to look back and be like, oh, we made it through that.
Yeah. The calmness. Okay. So nobody's equal to the next person. Just not. We may be connected, but we're not equal. and our emotions are not ever 100%
right,
equal,
the
right?
same, right.
There's no zero on the number line. It's a little bit this way, a little bit that way. And it's important for whomever is the most calm to help that other person come into that calm space,
Yes,
and welcome into that calm space, because the two of you together, if you are a couple, the two of you together can balance each other out. And that is, man, that's a big deal.
yes. And that prevents a lot of arguments. When you see, the thing is, we see this argument percolating, right? Because it's like,
you know when it's happening. You
he
can feel
said
it.
something smart, or you said something smart, and this is a serious matter. Like, we're talking about how to pay the mortgage, right? But you see it's percolating, and to have one of the partners just go, well done, we got this,
We're good.
let's just,
yes, hold my hand,
let's bring it down. Or sometimes I'll look at my husband, I'll be like, you all right?
I'm good.
Or he'll look at, well, he don't look at, he just holds me. Like, he'll hold me, because he'll be like, you're spinning, you're spiraling, and he'll just be like, come here,
come and absorb some of my calm energy.
We call him the Sandman.
Our grandson,
whenever he lays on his chest,
it's like,
boom.
If he's wide awake or fighting it, he don't want to come to me.
Nope, because he know Grandpa will put him to
it's
sleep.
A done deal.
So it's important. You're so right that one person in the relationship has to be the one, that says, hey, let's calm this down.
That's right.
There's a solution. Listen to me. A problem is not created without the solution, right? Yeah. It's already, it's in the ethers. When the problem surfaced, the solution came along with it. You just have to be calm so that you can see it and you can act on it, because the solution is always there. There is no problem that has ever occurred that there wasn't already a solution that was there. It's kind of like, positive, negative. Yep. They both exist at the same time.
Polarity does exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang, and the up and the down, and the left and the right.
Yeah. So stay calm. And then the next thing is stay ready. You got to be ready. Listen, this time is coming. We see the shift, right? Yeah. Prices is some of the prices in the grocery store will hurt your feelings. That is so high.
I would say they're slowly creeping up, but
no, they are ridiculous. Yeah. So readiness, listen to this, guys. Readiness is not about predicting the future.
No, it's not.
We don't have to predict the future, right? But it's about being prepared to adapt to any scenario with confidence.
Yes.
Woo! Y'all better write that one down. We put it on the screen for you. We don't have to predict the future. We don't have to have a genie, to tell us what's coming and what's up ahead. But we want to be prepared to adapt in any direction that we need to go. So, like, for example, in your business, hon, how would you have to adapt if different environments come up?
Well, one is I have to pay attention. That's first. If you have your eyes open and you're calm about it, that's the pretense to that. When you're calm, you can see things shifting and changing. And it is for business purposes. I may have to tailor towards certain projects, or I may have to buy in bulk certain materials that I normally acquire. It's really about identifying the change that's occurring and then making a decision based on those circumstances.
Right.
And being savvy enough, being open enough, that's more accurately, being open enough to shift and change and not being stuck in a certain mode or autopilot or just doing things repetition because that's the way I do them, so that's how I do them, and I'm sinking while I'm still doing that.
And that's not going to work. So here's an example. So he does remodels, right, for homes, right? But if the economy were to shift to where people weren't remodeling their homes, he has the ability to shift to work on commercial property.
Yeah.
Or he can do repairs.
Yep.
Because he has a license as such that he can go in and do repairs. So he can do plumbing and electrical or whatever.
Yeah.
But he built his business with that versatility, not because he's anticipating anything, because we anticipate that either way, regardless of what's going on, when COVID hit, we anticipated that he would just keep plugging away. And he did. He got a lot of calls during COVID. Yeah. And then after COVID, he got a lot of calls after COVID. So you're anticipating good things, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes we make a mistake. When you prepare for the worst, you're creating the worst.
Exactly.
Because that's what you're focused on.
Yeah. I think if you position yourself with versatility,
yes,
that allows you to shift and move in different directions. It doesn't mean that you're anticipating difficulties.
No,
it means that you're just being versatile.
Right.
No different with your assets or your stocks or your investments. Being versatile is important.
Right. So some investments we have, right, everybody, we have money in our SoFi accounts. Some investments may be in stocks. Some investments may be in crypto
or bonds.
Or bonds.
Yeah.
And so you have this balanced portfolio. Well, that's the same for you, your career, your abilities. So that might mean you seek out training. It might mean that you look at other diverse forms of income that interest you, that you like doing.
Yes.
You can monetize about anything in this world. If you love something and you enjoy doing something, you can figure out how to monetize it.
Yes.
And so creating this multiple streams of income sometimes is helpful, but always be aware that you want to be able to adapt and you want to do it with confidence.
Yeah.
Not fear. We're not moving because of fear.
No.
We're moving because we know we're good at what we do and we're giving ourselves opportunities.
Right.
So true readiness begins in the mind, and a prepared mindset creates opportunities, even in the face of adversity.
Yes, it does.
So you can mentally create an opportunity.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Your focus, whatever you're focused on,
yes,
it will happen.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. It's powerful and it's true, left or right, up or down, inside or out, whatever your focus is, it will actually happen. So
yeah,
be careful on what you're focused on. Be intentional on what you're focused on.
And sometimes we just want to be right? We go, I know I'm gonna get let go. I know it. I know I'm gonna get let go. Well, if you keep saying you know you're going to get let go, the universe has no choice but to deliver that pink slip to you.
Right. Because if you anticipate, if you expect it, if you believe it, you get it.
You get it.
Yeah.
Instead of being really super laser focused on, I know I'm going to get this promotion. Right. I know I'm going to pass this test. Yeah. I know I'm going to do great things and opportunities will come out of the blue. I got a phone call out of the blue for this job opportunity that literally checked every box that I wanted, which was like, I'm retired, so I want to work part-time. I want to work from home. I just put all of these, things out there that I wanted. And I got a phone call. I didn't even have to go to this opportunity. The opportunity came to me. So I'm no different than you or anyone else on this call. You have to be aware that your thoughts create energy, which creates this opportunity that can be brought to you on a platter if you just keep your right mindset. Conversely, if you focus on the social media, you focus on recession, you're going to feel a recession. Yes. You focus on economic downfall, you're going to feel and see that economic downfall.
Yeah.
So do some things for yourself that helps put your mind at ease. Balance your portfolio. You want to have liquid assets right now and non-liquid assets. Now, this is just my strategy, but I'm gonna share it with y'all. When I see that there's the makings of possible restriction coming on, number one, I make sure I create as much opportunity to create assets, cash, 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 cash. You know why? Because I work for a retirement agency. I sat on the board. They had trillions of dollars, and they flourished during the economic crash in 2020 because they had cash. They were sitting on cash.
Mm-hmm.
When you have cash, you can make decisions.
Yes, you
so
can.
If you're trying to pay off credit cards and debt right now, I would slow that down. I would put that extra money in some savings and investments and keep cash.
Where it's accessible.
Yes, cash, cash, cash. You pay your debt, pay it on time, but yes, Barbie, cash, cash, cash. Build it up, up, put it in the bank account.
Yeah. Being able to shake and move and shift and being able to acquire the things, necessities, if your income goes lower than what it normally is, you have accessible cash to stay balanced.
Yes, cash is good. And you may look at some of those things that you pay every month that you're like, oh, it's just $20, it's $30. That stuff adds up. Are you using that service? If not, cancel the subscriptions. You don't need them right now, right? Cancel them. You can pick them up later, but what can you live without? Can you live without the designer purse right now? Yeah, I would say it would be nice. Things might go on sale here. Things get real bad, so you might be able to get stuff at a discount. So harbor your cash, so when it goes on discount, you can possibly pick up a whole property, because when a recession hits and the price of homes go down, you could be positioned to purchase a property.
And that is an element of being ready to capitalize on opportunities when the market goes down.
Yes.
When stock prices plummet, that's when it's time to buy them, because they're low.
Yes.
They will eventually go back up.
Yeah,
they always do.
If you are putting money in ETFs, kind of like balanced portfolios, not just one particular stock, because that one business may not make it.
No.
But if you invest in things like S&P 500, for example, that's a whole basket of companies.
Yes. Thank you for that clarification. Yes. Because if you see a stock that's in the toilet, it may not come out of the toilet.
It may not come out of the toilet.
So make sure you're doing it in a basket.
Yes. Like S&P 500 is a good one.
Yeah.
There's lots of ETFs out there that are really good. Russell 3000. I have videos where I talked about, some index funds or ETFs that you can invest in, and to dollar cost averaging is what you're referring to.
Yes.
Putting your money in when it's low and putting your money in when it's high, you're getting the value, the best value really for your buck, because you're constantly investing in those stocks or in those ETFs, etc. And when we come out of the recession, you're going to be like, woo!
Yes, your money will yield a greater return if you're still putting money in when it's low.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely want to make sure you identify any kind of extra revenue sources that you can create, not to spend more, but to actually save the money. And then make sure you're really getting more liquid assets. Debt's going to be there, y'all. Debt's going to be there. So don't let that stress you out, because remember, we're staying calm. So we're not worried. We're going to pay the monthly bills, right? Get those things taken care of. But any extra cash you get, you want to stash your cash.
So if you are a person or a couple that has stayed prepared and everything is like it should be, if you want to put yourself in a bubble, stay in your bubble, because your bubble is a space of calmness and harmony, and you're not reacting to what else the world is doing and what's happening in the world. And if you've done your part in keeping things like they should be, then you do not have to do anything different.
Yeah.
You just cruise along, and then it's kind of like hunkering down while there's a tornado roaming around. And when you're done and you can come out, then you come out.
Right.
But if you're organized, if you got things like they should be, you shouldn't have to do anything. You
No.
just cruise along.
And what you don't understand is you created the wealth that you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And so if something shifts, like someone loses a job, or that looks like there's going to be a shift and you're going to have to take lower pay, then you just need to create more revenue elsewhere. That's it. You created the money that you currently are making. Create more. That's it. And the way you create more is stop talking about what you lost and talk about what you want moving forward. So what is it that you want? I want more pay. I want another source of income. I want money from another location. I want to have money coming in from at least 2 or 3 different revenue sources.
Like a side hustle.
Yes, but start talking about what it is that you want, and those side hustles will materialize. Somebody will send you an email or a call and be like, hey, are you interested in this?
You know what? So moments in time when I know that I'm in the zone is when I can think about something and then I get a phone call.
Yes.
It does not require me to act or do anything. It comes to me.
Yeah.
And when you have those type of moments, that is evidence of your outer area conforming to the inner
What's
you.
going on inside you.
Inside,
yes.
And if you see yourself making those type of moves dynamically, be aware and practice that. And hone in on that, because that's true evidence of when you're really zoned in.
Yes, you're dialed in.
You're dialed in. Yes.
Yeah. And the way that you go, oh, I don't have that ability, I'll say, oh, you do, right?
Yeah, you do.
Take a look at things that are around you right now. Look at your home. You manifested that home, right? Whatever car you're driving, you manifested that car. Like everything you have, you created it and manifested it through your thoughts, whether it was through prayer, whether it was for just, being open to receive, but it was your thoughts and your energy and your mind and your positive attitude that created those things that you have. And so now you just have to focus on what's next. What happens sometimes if we get so afraid that we'll lose it, then of course you lose it, because that's where your fear and your mindset and your focus is. And then you go, oh my goodness, Lord, why are these things happening? Why am I losing this? Why am I losing that? And then you get down, if you were like me, when I was homeless, I was praying and I was just like, God, please, just give me a sign, help me. And then it was like, oh, okay, you want this? Oh, okay, now here it comes. And here it comes. And then it was like, oh, okay, my fear is what created this, apocalypse in my life.
Yes.
It was through my fear, through my thoughts, through my focus.
Yep.
And the minute I shifted, I realized I was like recession proof because I was only focusing on, more wealth.
Yeah.
I was focusing on boosting my savings. So, and I will challenge you guys, if you have an automatic savings plan set up right now, increase it. Just be bold. And if you have, say, $50 a month going into savings, turn it up to 75.
Yeah.
Turn it up to 100 and watch you don't miss it. Just be intentional about it. Just be like, you know what? I want to save more money. Bump it up and see if things don't shift around you. You may get a pay increase. Something will happen. That money will just be growing in your savings. Now is the time to do that. Negotiate those bills. Bunny says she canceled a few subscriptions. You definitely want to cancel subscriptions you don't need. But then once you cancel it, bump up the savings.
Yeah, so because the money is going somewhere.
It's going to go somewhere. So you cancel a $30 a month subscription. Take that money now and put it in the savings. And those $30, $15 a month, they add up.
They do.
Yes. So look for side hustle opportunities, explore passive income, be willing to just accumulate as much cash as you can you want to have is 6 to 9 months worth of expenses just for peace of mind. Yeah, so that you know that mortgage is paid, and you don't do it because you anticipate losing your job. You do it just because it feels good to have 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, it's kind of like so my mindset reverts to a military space often. I may not verbalize it, but it's happening here. And one thing is being ready, that is having for military, having your equipment ready. Doesn't mean that you're going to war, but your equipment is clean, it's serviceable, and it's ready.
Yes.
And being ready does not put you in a mindset of going to war.
Right.
It actually is very calming. It allows you to relax because you don't have to scramble when things happen.
Right.
And so that readiness, it's critical.
Yeah. It gives you a peace of mind. Some of us have alarm systems on our home. Now, we don't anticipate that we're getting robbed when we put the alarm system on. We just do it because it gives us a peace of mind.
Yeah.
You do it, you set it and forget it. It's there. It's there because we want it there. When we get out of our car, we hit the button. Choo-choo. But we expect that car to be there when we get out the store, right? Okay. But we just do boop, boop, right? Just because we're, it's what? Peace of mind.
Yes,
it's peace of mind. So there's a difference between staying ready, but also looking for growth, opportunities, prosperity, versus anticipating the worst. There's a difference.
Yes,
it's a big difference. Anticipating the worst during this recession will manifest the worst. You will be like, it was horrible. 2025 was the worst year of my financial life.
And then you'll have other people saying, man, I made a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. So, instead, let's just be ready and prosper. And the way we prosper is to look for staying calm and looking for opportunities, because they're going to come. With every recession, there's opportunities to make money.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of folks that become millionaires during recessions.
Yes.
And you can be one of those people if you are ready.
You too.
You too can prosper during a recession.
Yes, you can.
Yes. All right. So go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Flip it.
So the last thing, right? So we said stay calm, stay ready, and stay focused. Yes. Stay focused.
Staying focused.
So look, guys, your mindset governs your reality. What you focus on, you manifest.
That's plain and simple.
So talk about it, baby.
Well, okay. So focus, like doing like this. You're looking. Whatever you're looking for, you will find it.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever your thought mindset is, you will create it. Whatever your beliefs are, it will conform to your beliefs. And it's really, really very simple. There's no complexity. There's no hocus pocus to it. It is plain and simple. Wherever you look, you will see what you're looking at.
Wherever you look, you will see what you're looking at.
That's just it.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of a different time, different topic, different subject about the physics behind that, what the eyes create when they look. But that's a different subject. We'll address that at a later time, and I promise that. But whatever you're looking at is what you actually see.
Yes.
And that is mentally as well. Whatever you're looking at mentally, your eyes will see what your mind is looking at.
And it's so interesting that you say that, right? Because we think that it's broken, right? The system is broken. We're in a recession. Y'all can say what you want, but we're in a recession. And the economy is going to hell. Grocery, as Barbie, I call her Barbie. Barbie said, grocery prices are ridiculous. And It's like dining out is so expensive. So you can say what you want to say, but we're just in a recession and times are hard. And we're here to tell you, as long as that's what you want to focus on,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you want to continually repeat that and say that and put that energy out there towards that, the universe has nothing, it can't do anything but produce what you've asked for, what you've created.
I'm gonna be candid and reveal some inner thoughts, and some of them, some people may get it, some people may like it, some people may not. Um, when the economy starts shifting and changing, I'm actually saying, "Where's my opportunity?"
Yeah, I get excited. I'm like, what's
Yeah,
going to
like
happen?
for real. And it does not mean that I don't care about people that are absorbing the repercussions of what's happening in the economy. It just means that I'm focused in my own lane.
I'm staying in my
I'm
lane.
staying in my lane. Whether the economy is up or down, some people are going to be up or down. Some people are down when the economy is up. Some people are up when the economy is down. It That's not a relevant point. The point is, when I focus, I'm focused on my lane.
Yeah.
My lane. And it could be a hell of a chaos on the left side. Right here in my lane, it's moving forward and it's calm and it's like classical music while I'm doing 100 miles an hour down the freeway. It's just my lane, and it is whatever I create it, whatever I desire it to be, whatever I want it to be, that's what it's going to be, regardless of the circumstances outside of me.
Yeah. I
So,
remember you sharing with me, you were looking for your next job to, you
oh,
were looking for it and you were talking about it with a client. And
mhm.
before the day was out, you got a phone
I
call.
got a phone call because someone else took action that I didn't even have a discussion with, but I was wrapping things up with a customer. I went back to visit them and was chatting with them. And she says, "So when's your next project?" I said, "Well, I'm closing one tomorrow. And then after that, that's it. There's no open projects." And she was like, "Do you know, well, when's your next one?" I said, "There's a couple here and there, whatever." But I knew that there was nothing on a set date for the next start of a project. Later that day, a customer called me and said, "Hey, I called so and so and called building and planning, and the permits are in motion and they'll be done by next week." I was like, "Oh wow, okay, cool." Before next week came, the building permit was done,
Yeah. And you're
and
starting tomorrow.
I'm starting a new project tomorrow, and I did not have to do anything to make it move.
No.
I just right here.
And he's self-employed, right? So the mind could play tricks on you.
Oh hell
Because
to the
you'd be like,
yes.
I got a mortgage to pay, I got a family to support, and I don't know
No,
when the
no.
next project is starting.
It's a fine line between staying calm and not caring. It's a
Yes.
very fine line between the two, and you almost have to not give a damn.
Right. Like you just have to know,
You have to
you
know
have to
that the
know
flow
is
exists.
this, it's
Yeah,
coming, it's going to
yeah.
be fine. And I've learned over the years, because I'm mispreparedness, I would be like, okay, he ain't talking about the next job, he don't know when the next job is, I got to get some money put together because I don't know, am I going to have to come up with some funds? And I learned now over the years that when he's quiet, let him be quiet, because he's manifesting.
Yes. And if you have that person, if you have that person that's quiet like that, and the other person feels like he doing all that, that will mess up their mojo.
Yeah.
That'll pull them out of that space of quietness to where the quietness is the moments of manifestation.
Yes.
And if that quietness for me is interrupted, it disrupts my space of manifesting. And then because I care about you and I care about how you feel, and I can in fact take those feelings and insert them into my own feelings, and that can in fact disrupt the space and the movement of where I am. And so it's a very, you have to know your partner.
Yeah.
Know
And
the other person.
you've got to know how to support them.
Yes.
In the best way that's going to let them flourish.
Yeah.
And fly, because you can be right. I could be like, I knew he didn't have another job, and I would be right. But then what? We can't pay them, the bills.
Winner, tell her what she's won this time. oh, Miss Mortgage this time.
Right.
So
don't do I that. Could be right, or I could just be quiet.
Yeah.
I could be quiet and be supportive, and just speak life. Sometimes it's best. You may try to say the right thing. Sometimes it's best not to say anything and let the person work through it. Or sometimes it is good to encourage them, motivate them, and inspire them.
Yeah.
But you have to know your mate, and you have to know when is the right time to kind of step in, and when is the right time to just let them fly and excel and just do what they're going to do. And the other thing is, how about you focus on you? We spend so much time focused on the other person. Well, I started focusing on me like this. I think is the first time in years, maybe my whole entire life, where I have literally focused solely on my health, my wellness, my eating. And I mean, I've never felt better. And my family is important to me, but I found I actually have more quality time with them now because I feel good. I feel good. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
And I'm the recipient of a better version of you.
Yeah. By being what some would consider selfish and just taking time for me.
Yeah. No, so she took the month of April, and we are
my birthday month.
We are one day where we are on the 1st right now. So we're one day outside of April, and she took the whole month and didn't commit to anything, didn't take on anything.
No.
And my request to her was that she just do only the things that are fun, that put into herself, that you like to do, that are stress free. And if you feel like you're tipping into a stress space, abort.
And I wish I had done that while I was working, right? Full time for government. I wish I had taken time where I just focus on me. Yeah, we have to go to work, right? We got to make a living. But where the other time, my free time, I just focused on me, my wellness, what is going to help me feel better.
Yeah.
Right. So I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of walks. I didn't walk sometimes with music or watching videos. I just walked. I just needed that quiet time. Sometimes being quiet is just, with social media, you're used to just having this,
too much energy.
Yes.
Too much.
Yeah. So go for a walk. Go sit in some trees. Put your feet in grass. I showed y'all a video where you put your bare feet in grass or sand and do grounding.
Yeah.
Read a book. Yes. Put yourself in a new environment. So we went to a different mall the other day.
Yes, we did.
It was a really schmoozhy, expensive mall. And now let me tell you, this mall had Versace, Armani, Prada. I mean, any name brand store you can think of.
Yeah, it had all the ones, the names where the name cost money.
Yes.
I saw a straw hat, and it had Prada on the side of it. I said, it's just a straw hat, and they stuck Prada on the side.
Yeah, and it was a lot of money.
I didn't even bother to look at the price tag. I just looked at it and laughed, to be honest. Anyway, go ahead.
But what we did was we gave ourselves a budget of $200.
Yes, we did.
And we just wanted to walk amongst the folks that were spending thousands of dollars. We went and held a pen. He held a pen that cost $1,000. It was blanc.
It was an ink pen.
It was blanc. It was a blanc pen.
It was a piece of metal with ink on the inside, and it felt good. It had weight to it. It was a nice ink pen. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
But we had this experience.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to walk amongst wealthy folks that were, or appeared to be wealthy. They may have been in debt.
Credit cards all in their back pocket.
We went to, we found your shop, Bunny, the Sunglass Hut, but it wasn't called Sunglass.
No,
Hut.
it was Sunglass Hut, but they gave it a bougie name. I can't remember.
Over the Moon or something like that.
Craziness.
House of Sun.
And then when you go inside the store,
House of Sun. It was called House of Sun. So we went in and they had all these displays with these sunglasses and stuff. And then he found the perfect pair. And then they put it in the bag. And I said, "Are y'all Sunglass Hut?" He said, "Yeah, we're just Sunglass Hut. But in this mall, they call us House of Sun."
Anyways, the purpose is to change your environment.
Yes.
That was the purpose of the trip to that particular mall.
And you could still do it within your budget.
Oh yeah.
Now, could we have bought that $1,000 pen? Yeah,
sure, absolutely. But it did not intrigue me enough.
No, because we were operating with our focus. We were focused.
Mm-hmm.
Our focus was to spend $200 and get something we enjoyed. And we went to lunch and we had a blast though, walking through the mall, looking at all the nice stuff. Yes, Bunny. You come on. We're going to the mall, girl. But we're going with a budget now. We're going with a budget. Yes. I don't step in the mall. I don't step in the mall without a budget. But you feel good, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you feel good.
It's
stepping
important.
in a different environment.
Yeah.
But always be focused. It also helps enhance your life, experiencing new things.
It does. Yeah.
Going new places.
It helps with when you're sitting back and it's a quiet space and nobody's bothering you. It helps you to visualize.
Yes.
It gives you tools and clips in your mind to visualize things. You can use your imagination, but your imagination can be enhanced.
Yes, when you have visuals.
Yes.
Actual visuals.
Yes.
Yes. Bunny was saying she loves to go window shopping.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun. It's also fun to people watch while you're out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. People watching. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
Here's a tip to you. Some people are hesitant about window shopping or even going inside the store. I have no reservation about going in a store, such as with the ink pen. The ink pens were inside of a case like it was jewelry. They had to open the back up, they take the key out, open the back up, and they stand there at the counter with you. I don't have a problem with doing that. I have no reservation with doing that. And knowing absolutely in my mind, I'm not going to buy.
You have no intention of buying.
I have zero intention of making a purchase. I don't care about what that looks like. I care more about what that means to me.
Yeah.
What I get from
it. Writing with that pen and how you felt writing with it,
Yeah. And while I was writing with it, I was imagining myself sitting at my desk or sitting in my office, an office that does not exist but here, and writing out checks or writing out whatever documents or signing documents.
$1 million contract.
Yes.
Yes.
So using my imagination, that was the value of standing in that store.
And then after he signed his name, I took the piece of paper with
Yes. After I scratched my name.
I was like, that's your signature. We're going to take this with us. You always got to have a sidekick help you out.
Right.
Because he was in a moment,
I was.
He was having a moment.
And then she pulled a piece of paper. I was like, good looking at it.
But it's so much fun to visualize.
It is.
And enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll go by the piers with the boats and we visualize if we own a yacht, what would it feel like if we own a yacht? Yeah. And I told my husband, I don't know about being out in the open sea with the yacht, but I'm here for the
and I was like, how big does it have to be for you to feel
comfortable? To feel comfortable. I was like the size of the cruise ship. The cruise ship.
Well, then next time we on a cruise, imagine that is your vessel.
That is my yacht.
So whatever.
This is my yacht. It's a big cruise line.
So one thing is that we can laugh and have fun.
Yes.
Right? And we picked each other to laugh and have fun with, which is another definitive point, is being selective about who you allow into your space.
Yes.
That is so essential I think that's our
Last quote.
Last quote.
Be selective about what and actually who you allow into your space. Only engage with what adds value to your life and focus.
Yes.
So if you are having a conversation with someone and you're not feeling good in the conversation, I gotta go now. If you are on your phone and you realize that the videos popping up make you feel anxious or sad, shut it off.
Yes.
Shut it down.
Yes.
Only engage with things that are going to enhance you and add value.
Yeah. And the results of that is as a result of your thoughts and your focus. If you find yourself talking to someone and they're pulling your energy and they're just talking about all the negativity in their life, that is evidence of your mindset. So be careful with that. But make a correction in the moment, disengage in the conversation,
or change topics. If you change topics and they still keep staying negative, you need to get out of that conversation. I gotta go. Oh, girl, I gotta go now, and
close it out.
Close it out. Yeah. And we sometimes tap each other because I'll get on this path of, oh my God, guess what happened, and my husband will have to be like, you know what, that doesn't affect us. Let's let that go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah, it's a gentle nudge, but it's like, hey, I've done things where I was caught up, and I'll just stop and spin around and just, change the topic. Change the topic.
Sometimes when you're dealing with people outside of your partner, a gentle nudge is not possible, or it's not effective, right? Some people just don't get it. Like when you're in the line at the grocery store and somebody's standing behind you in line and they turn around and say, this is just messed up, and they're just bitching and moaning and complaining. Those people, I act like I don't even see them. It sounds a little rude, but I bullshit you. Excuse me. No, I will stand there and stare off into space. And people want attention. I've actually got out of line and went into another line before. Because what's happening inside of here is so critical, it's so valuable. I'm willing to protect it and be rude to somebody or make it look like I'm a beep hole, because this right here, I'm a gatekeeper.
Yes.
And if you're dumping stuff at my front gate, no.
And you don't understand, if you're at work and somebody's dumping stuff on you, then you take that stuff home to your spouse.
That ain't fun.
And I used to do that at my previous work, and my husband would constantly have to have me shift because I would be like, and then sometimes he would get intrigued at what I was saying because it was so ridiculous. But at the end of the day, it wasn't worth the stress that I was bringing home to the household. It's not worth it.
Nope.
It's just not. It's not worth it.
Let other people's stuff be other people's stuff.
So what you're doing is you're focusing on you and your growth, right?
Yes.
Growth is inevitable when you do things you're passionate about. Yeah. Growth just happens. Your YouTube channel grows when you're passionate about what you're doing, because people go, oh, hey, check out their channel, right? And so it starts to grow. So things grow. It's like a plant. You're either growing or you're dying, right? It's just the way the universe works. So I like to prefer to be looking at this from a perspective of growth. Growth is inevitable when you're passionate about what you do. Stagnation, on the other hand, is the result of routine without purpose. If you're stagnant, that means you've gotten to this routine with no purpose.
You're just doing it
because
that's the way you always do it.
I get up, I go to work, I go home. I get up, I go to work, I go home. And you don't have purpose. Yeah. And so you find yourself like in a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so growth will happen naturally if you just get passionate about what you love to do.
Yeah. Or if you do what you're passionate about.
You do what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You do what you're passionate about.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Take action. Feels right, do it.
Feels good. Yeah.
I queued her up
for that. We didn't rehearse that.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Yes,
No.
but yes, be willing to do things outside of the norm.
Yeah.
Attend workshops. Join our lives, guys.
Let's
have some fun. Come join our lives. We're gonna be here every other Thursday. So be a part of the conversation so that you can get into a new conversation. Encourage others to join the live so they can be a part of this new conversation. Because now when you hear the stuff we're talking about, talk about it with your spouse later, or a friend or a girlfriend or, a guy friend or whoever. But continue the conversation, whether you agree with it 100% or you don't, it still makes for good, positive conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So definitely do those things that are out of the norm to enhance your life. You don't want to do the same old thing. Expansion and growth are really the essence of life. Yeah. It really is. If you're not growing, you're dying. So we always want to be in a space of growing.
Yeah. You're welcome, Bunny, and Mr. Rabbit as well. So I have a request, and that is from the viewers. If you will drop a comment on what time works best for you, be sure to stipulate what your time zone is so we know what you're talking about. And so we're trying to figure out the best time to do our lives and how it'll captivate the audience,
So we've been doing 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which means like 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And so what are your thoughts? Should we go live earlier? Should we go live later? Let us know in the comments. Even if you're the replay crew and you're watching this later, let us know what time works for you or you think is best, because we'd like to do like a poll and see what you guys think. Should we go earlier? Is this the perfect time, or should we go later? Yep. So either works for us, but we're just so glad that you guys came out and joined us for our first live on our new channel.
Yes. Partners in Prosperity.
Partners in Prosperity. So there's more to come. We're going to have lots of fun things. You guys want to stay tuned.
Yeah. And if there's any topic that you guys are interested in having us expound on,
put it in the comments.
Share that, because we're always willing to talk to a captivated audience of things that are interest of you.
Yes. We want to talk. We can talk about anything. We said that we could talk about anything.
Yes.
You give us a topic, you give us a few minutes, and we'll come up.
And some of those things may not be YouTube worthy, so we might have to do that over the phone. But anyway.
We got a conversation piece on any topic. Absolutely. And we want to talk about real stuff, right? So that's why we talked today about this recession, because that seems to be what people are talking about right now. But there are other things that are going on that you guys may want to just be like, let's see what Kevin and Onyx think about. Let's have a dialogue.
Things about mindset, things about money, and things about relationships.
Yep. That pretty much covers anything, because mindset.
What's going on up in that noggin?
And then money, that's huge, in relationships. So we were really excited about the new channel. Looking
forward to the videos to come. And the lives to come. And share your thoughts and comments, because they matter.
They do.
And you guys matter.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening.
Yes. And we love you.
We love you.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.